added a couple new additions to the wrestling club, David, Ed, and Frank Molinaro.
Yes.
What are they going to bring in? How do they take that next step there with your program?
Well, they're all three of them are knocking on the door. You know, they're right there. It's just a matter of making the adjustment to the international style, and you're also competing at a higher level, obviously. So you got to keep getting better. A lot of that's just going to come from competing overseas and I wouldn't say turning things up a notch because they've been working hard. But they're all three of them are good enough to to make the team and to win medals for the United States. So it's just a matter of we love having their intensity in the room and their confidence. Our college kids come in there and get to spend time with Olympic hopefuls and train with them. So it's a win-win. But David and Ed, I think they showed, and Frank took fourth at the U.S. Open a couple weeks ago, and Ed took third and David took second. They kind of showed that they're right there, and then Varner obviously won. So we've got a great club right now. It's fun to be in there. The practices are amazing, the credentials, and there's a lot of national titles training in the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club right now.
And these were such a big part of what you've done the last 4 years. What are the challenges in trying to replace them, or do you even look at it as trying to quote unquote replace these guys?
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't look at it like you're trying to replace them. We're trying to build, another championship team, and we want to win more championships, and that just comes from getting good kids that can score a lot of points at the national tournament. Kids that love wrestling, that have that same passion. Obviously that have that tremendous ability in addition to a great attitude and work ethic and passion for the sport. So, yeah, I mean, we do that every year. That's all we do is you're planning ahead. I mean, if you're not planning 3 or 4 years ahead, you're years behind. So, we knew these guys were obviously going to graduate, and we're going to miss them. What they accomplished in their time was nothing short of amazing. And but I think we're excited. I am excited about the challenge of continuing on.
James Scott here, James Franklin, in the middle of your season. I'm wondering how much you've gotten a chance to kind of get to know him since your season's over, and maybe how much of an opportunity these next couple days will be in terms of getting known a little bit better.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's obviously a busy man, and I've had a few chances to visit with him. I'm just trying to pick his brain and steal ideas from him, and because he's obviously very good at what he does and what he has done, and it just the passion that he's bringing and the energy and the hustle. It's just it's contagious. I think all the coaches feel it, and I think it's pushing everyone to continue to step their games up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to these next couple of days, just to be able to continue to pick his brain as we move along. I'm sure it gets a little annoying because he's always got people trying to pick his brain and steal his time. But these next 3 days will be a good opportunity for me.
Looking at Cale with his shirt, I'm going to get a Cale Sanderson shirt that says "Dominate the Universe" on it, because that's really what he's been doing. And listening to him talk about stealing some ideas or thoughts from me, I thought that's what I was doing with him on the bus ride down. And I've had a chance to go out to dinner with Cale a few times, and he's been a great resource. But I think that's one of the things that's special about Penn State is all the coaches. The success that they've had in their area of expertise is unbelievable. It's a great resource for all of us to bounce ideas off one another. Being here in King of Prussia is cool. One of my best friends is here as a local teacher and family in the area, so it's cool to come back home. And looking forward to the event tonight. And
How's the caravan been going? How's the first week going? What were your thoughts?
It's been good. Getting out and connecting with people across the state and outside the state has been really good. Getting a chance to meet people. I think I've mentioned to you guys before, the passion and the pride for Penn State is unreal. So to get out into these type of environments where you're interacting with anywhere between 150 and 800 obviously passionate, die-hard alumni and fans is special. And it's probably even more special for me because it means so much to me. And then to stand up in front of 800 people that care about it just as much as I do, it's an interesting. I don't even know how I can explain it, but it's a very emotional experience for me. to be in a room packed full of people that care just as much about Penn State as you do. You know, it's kind of unique.
When you talk about being a Pennsylvania guy, coaching at Penn State, that seems to be when you kind of get emotional. What does it mean to you to be able to be a PA guy coaching at Penn State?
Well, it's surreal in a lot of ways. I would say the first 24 hours of taking the job, it was crazy. You know, my family and friends, coming to the press conference and those types of things. Since then, you really don't have a whole lot of time to focus on it. I mean, you're too busy doing the job. But I will say, when you get a chance to get up in front of people like this and get into this event and talk about it, it kind of makes you really kind of think about what's going on and why it is so personal to you and those types of things. And like I said, you're doing it in front of other people that care just as much as you do. So I don't really ever think about that, throughout my workday, my normal workday, but I think getting up and talking about it and expressing it probably comes more to the forefront of how I'm feeling but that's just kind of who I am with a lot of things. I hear people's stories, I read stories. A guy last week wrote an unbelievable story in Altoona about my mom on Mother's Day, and I didn't see it. A friend of mine, said, "Did you see the article? It's a really good article." And I read it. It was a really good article, and that kind of got me going again. I had to kind of fight it off, but nobody was around to see that, so it's okay.